Hello and welcome back to our fidget spinner series. So, just to remind us what we're all working towards, it's going to be a fidget spinner, which is in the end, it's going to really work, and we're going to be able to spin it around. Um, in the first session, we looked at the main body of it, and we did that. In the second session, we looked at the silicone grips that go in each of the holes so that we can spin it nice and fast. In this video, we're going to be looking at something called a bearing cage. Now, the bearing cage is two separate tracks separated by some ball bearings, which allow the two elements to spin independently of one another. If you don't know what one is, there's plenty of animations on YouTube, I'm sure, but just to get a grip of what it's going to look like, this is the sort of thing, you might have seen them before, that we're going to look at. This has only got one ball bearing in. Don't worry, we're going to put the rest in as we go along. But effectively, it is just two concave tracks with some steel balls in between them. If we look at a cross section of what this is, and we get the sketch up, that is all you're going to be drawing today. If you want to pause the video, we've got 5 minutes there, and just look at those and think you can get on yourself, please do. If you want to follow along, I'm going to talk you through line by line as usual, but all you're going to do is you're going to make what's drawn in the drawing, and then you're going to do a revolve. Okay, first of all, what you can do, you're going to open a new tab, and then you are going to, let's get rid of this, I'll wait a second for you to open that new tab, and you're going to call it the bearing cage. And on your front plane, you are going to draw a line that is 5 millimeters tall, and it is 8 millimeters from the center line. If you remember on our fidget spinner, this diameter was 16 mil. If you click on the circle, it just says the diameter in the bottom corner, and we want this to be 8 mil, so that when we revolve it, we've got double that diameter to play with. Okay. What you're going to do now is you're going to, what's probably going to be easier, if I dimension this 2.5, 2.5 from one end to the top plane, so then I know my 5 mil line is sitting directly or exactly halfway across that. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw one line and down to the middle, down vertically. Then I'm going to add some dimensions. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 2 to the top. And the second thing I'm going to do is add a line that is exactly a vertical line, which is exactly 1 millimeter away from that new line I have drawn. So you should have something that looks like that. You should have this hook-like shape where we've got a 5 mil line, a 2 mil line, and then another line dangling down to the, a 2.5 mil line dangling down to the top plane. A millimeter away from that, I've then got another line which I'm going to use to make a circle. So I'm going to make sure my circle is snapped to the top plane and to the orange line. So if I zoom in, I can see I've got a dotted line coming out from the origin. The 1 mil, or the 1 mil away line, for want of a better way to put it, should go orange. And now I know that my origin of this circle is going to be sat directly on that intersection. I'm going to pull it out, so it's somewhere over here, and it's going to intersect this line at some point. That's exactly what I want it to do. And you're just going to make sure that the diameter of the circle is 3.4. So go into your dimension tool, click on the edge of the circle, pull it out, and just make sure that is 3.4. And now I'm just going to trim away everything I don't want. Now, I want to keep, in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, what's probably beneficial. I'm going to make this into a full rectangle. We could have probably started by doing a center point rectangle. That might have been more beneficial. But what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to trim the lines we want whilst keeping this curve. This is the only bit of the circle we care about, this curve here, because this is going to be the housing, the rail, if you want, the track that the ball bearings are going to sit against. So once I've got that, all I need to do is get rid of everything except this straight line here. So I'm going to use my trim tool. I'm going to get rid of that arc. I'm going to get rid of this part of my rectangle, this arc in the bottom, and this side of my circle. And the reason I've kept the center line is because I'm just going to mirror it. So I'm going to click my mirror tool, click my center line there, click and drag around my whole thing, and there it is. And all I need to do now is revolve my whole shape around my normal vertical plane. So I do need to put a line in there to revolve it around. I'm going to click the tick. I'm going to click revolve. I'm going to click my two faces that I want to revolve. I'm going to click inside the revolve axis field. I'm going to click the line I've just drawn. And hey presto, I've got two parts that have formed. Okay, next I'm going to want to draw a single ball bearing that is inside this track. So what I'm going to do is, in fact it doesn't really matter, front or right plane. I'm going to click on my right plane and I'm going to go down to section view. And what that is going to do, that is going to hide everything that is my near side of my shape. So because the right plane is dissecting it through the middle, if I go on section view, that I'm looking at exactly the exact cross section of exactly halfway through that circle. And I'm going to click the tick to leave that on. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a sketch on the right plane. Make sure that's selected. I'm going to draw a line from my origin out somewhere near the center here. And that is going to be 5.05 mil. 5.05 should sit us exactly in the middle of that circular shape. What I need to do now is I need to put a circle in there. So from the point I've just drawn to, that's going to be the origin of my new circle. It's called concentric when it's the same. A circle has got the same origin, but it's just different sizes. A bit like ripples if you throw a stone into a pool. It's not quite exact. It's good enough for what we want. I'm going to just drop that circle there, press my dimension tool, and that's just going to be 3. Because I want this as a sphere, I'm going to draw a line up and then back down through the center. I'm going to trim half my circle away. I'm going to trim off everything and leave just a semicircle. And again, I'm going to do a revolve. It's going to already have highlighted my closed sketch, my semicircle, hopefully. I'm going to click into revolve axis and just click the center of that semicircle or the line down the semicircle. And it's going to turn that into a sphere. Now, you can only see half it at the minute because the section view is hiding anything that protrudes this side of the plane. But if I just click the tick and then I right click on the right plane, turn off section view, it's just going to allow that to be visible to us once more. And we've got our single ball bearing sitting inside our track. Okay, last thing we're going to do, I don't think it really matters what size these fillets are, but we are going to put some fillets on the edges and we're going to make them, I think, a half, so 0.5 mil, just to round them off. I'll tell you what, we can do it with the inner part as well. And now we've got our bearing cage. This is going to sit right in here for us. And what we're going to do while we're here, we're just going to make sure that we've got chamfers on this face as well. So I'm going to click my chamfer tool and it's going to be a 1 mil chamfer that is going to sit like that. Okay, that's it for this bit of the video. I hope that's been of some help. Hopefully you've all succeeded in getting the bearing cage with a single ball bearing in it. We're going to repeat that at a later date. If you're having any problems, go back to the drawing at the start of the video when we double clicked on the sketch. So when I double clicked on my existing part, try as much as you can and copy that. If you are having trouble, if you need to drop a comment and ask any questions, please do that. If you liked the video and you found it informative, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Next, we're going to be looking at our covers, and this should be at least our final 2 videos, maybe our final video. This should be the last bit we need to do. So we'll probably have 1 video after that, just regarding how we put it all together. And this is going to be something where you can gear your own design into it as well. So hopefully we'll see you then. Thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye.